Do you know what? Very interestingly, they've just emailed me right now as I was, yes. Well, okay. Hey, oh my goodness me. So as you have probably guessed, I'm having a bit of a fight with the Royal Mail. They've lost one of my parcels. It's got £2,500 worth of silver in it. Now, I've actually had a live update whilst filming this video. I film my intros after because I often don't know what I'm going to ramble on about for so long. And it's one not to miss. It's about the 14-minute mark of this video that I get a live update from the Royal Mail about this parcel. It's super fascinating and interesting. So yeah, let's crack on and tell you my story about the missing £2,500 parcel with the Royal Mail special delivery. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a very warm welcome to you all joining me for another precious metal. I was going to say ramble, but quite frankly, it's going to be a bit of a rant and a moan about the Royal Mail. Now, they've lost a special delivery package of mine with over £2,500 worth of silver in it. I am getting reimbursed from the insurance, so I don't want this video to come across as woe is me, I've lost £2,500. But I am going to be out of pocket because the value of silver has gone up since I posted this item over a month ago, and all that I have for my troubles with the Royal Mail is a paltry £50 goodwill voucher / payment that they have offered me. And in their own words, they hope that that £50 goes a long way to restoring the confidence in their service. Does it bollocks? I'm sorry for my French very early on in a YouTube video. I hope that doesn't demonetize me because basically YouTube ad revenue is now the only recourse I have to recoup some of the losses that I am going to incur from this whole situation. What I want though is, instead of me just shouting at the Royal Mail for 20 minutes in a video, I want to share my experiences of the whole claim process. What it's like to send something through special delivery, how it got lost, and then what I did, what steps I took to try and make sure it wasn't lost, and then when it was finally declared lost, what that claim process looked like, and what I had to go through to get the money back from the Royal Mail. I think that's going to be really invaluable for a lot of people, and there's a lot of pitfalls that people don't really know about that can actually completely invalidate any claim that you make. So there's a lot of really useful information in here. So it'd be great to hear from you down below if you've had any experiences like this. I know that having been through this, often it can be quite a lonely thing, like, oh my God, I've got this huge liability now of potential losses. There's not a lot of resources out there to look to. So if there's anybody else that's been through this, it's always good to hear from you. So please comment down below. So, right, first thing to just address. A lot of people might jump down in the comments and go, well, why do you bother using Royal Mail in the first place? They're crap. Well, they are the only viable option, unfortunately, in the United Kingdom for your everyday person to send something precious, like precious metals, cash, jewellery, whatever it might be, through the post. And you can look to use couriers, but a lot of the couriers out there, gold and silver, are actually prohibited items within their networks, and if they find them there, they'll just dispose of them, destroy them. You'll lose it completely. I think the only one that allows precious metals, and don't take this verbatim, is FedEx, but they don't offer any standard insurance for precious metals within their network. You have to have pre-approval, you have to go through various different steps to do that with couriers, and it's not very practical. So realistically, the only option is Royal Mail Special Delivery, and that is a product that is specifically designed for precious metals and for cash and for valuable things. It's got an insurance rating of up to £750, then you can pay for enhanced cover of up to £1,000 or up to £2,500. Now, that's seeming like quite a lot of money, but when you're thinking about sending a 1 ounce gold coin, for example, at £1,900, it suddenly you realise that actually the limit of the cover there is quite restrictive. And for silver's price having gone up so much right now, that £2,500 really only covers about 100 ounces worth right now, depending on what your buy price is or spot prices at the time. So it's not a particularly great service. That insurance rating hasn't gone up at all in the last 10 years, and I doubt it will go up anymore either. And I think the Royal Mail are borderline criminal with the amount that they've increased their prices over 70% in some areas of that enhanced level of cover, and not offering any additional cover on top of it. So that's the product that we are kind of forced to use. So moan at me all you want in the comments that I should use a different courier. It's not really very possible or practical. It's very expensive to do so, and it's not really something that I'm going to do as a small business. So, special delivery. You would hope that it's special. The Royal Mail certainly are putting the word special back into special delivery, that's for sure. So if you don't know, it's meant to be a guaranteed service next day by 1 o'clock. You can pay for a 9 AM guarantee, but it costs a lot more. So you would hope that it's there. And often it's fine. I've sent countless parcels. I spend about £8,000 a year on postage, and about 95% of the time it's all fine. But sometimes it's late, and that's just down to the Royal Mail being pretty poor at their job, quite frankly. If they're going to offer a guaranteed service, then you would hope that it would be actually guaranteed. But I suppose nothing in this world can be guaranteed. And whenever something is late, you can claim back and you can get your postage refunded. But in this particular situation, I sent up a batch of silver to the Edinburgh Assay Office. So you'll notice on some of these pieces here that we have these hallmarks down at the bottom, and I do that because it's the right thing to do. It adds value to my silver. It allows whoever buys it to know that it's genuine silver rather than just a lump of metal that somebody's made in their back garden or backyard, as I do. You don't legally have to do it for a bar-shaped piece, but I do it on all my pieces because I think it adds more value than it costs. I think it's better for the consumer. It's just better all round. It's nicer. People like them. That's what we do. So I send a package up to Edinburgh. They mark it. They then send it back to me. It's when it was sent back to me from Edinburgh that we encountered the problem. And what I understand this problem to be is that when it was put through the airport scanner, it's of course a dense metal and it just shows up as a big black object on the scanners. And they didn't know what to do with it. So they put it to one side, and then, as has happened actually quite a lot of times in the past, it is usually looked at a second time and it's just sent over the road network because they don't really know what to do with it. Despite the fact that silver is perfectly fine to fly, they just designate it as unfit for flying because of their lack of training and knowledge and ability to do their jobs properly. And this is not a new thing. This is something that we've experienced before where parcels have been, delayed for a long period of time because of this situation. However, that didn't happen on this particular parcel. Instead, it was deemed to be a potentially dangerous good and needed to go to the Northern Ireland Dangerous Goods National Return Centre to be opened and examined. So when I first noticed that this was delayed, I jumped on to the Royal Mail hotline. It's not really a hotline because you have to wait nearly an hour to get through to somebody. Jumped onto the Royal Mail Slow hotline and escalated this to the escalations team. And I said, where's my parcel? It's not here. It's been 5 days. I want it. Give it to me now. And all they could say is, it's been declared potentially dangerous goods. It's going to Northern Ireland. And that's what it says on the tracking. It's going to be there. It's a bit of a backlog. We'll let you know when it's been sorted. I was like, well, this is just ridiculous, absolutely stupid. So I just complained again. I escalated it even further. I stood my ground. I went to the CEO's office and got some replies from people in there. And through all the conversations and all of the email exchanges I've had with them, they agreed that there is no reason why it should be declared potentially dangerous. There is no reason why it should not have been sent on from the Edinburgh Sorting Centre and the Edinburgh Airport. And this is all basically just a complete cock-up. So I was like, well, okay, we just need to find the parcel now and get it back to me. A couple of weeks go by and finally I get a reply from them saying they've searched high and low. They cannot find it anywhere. They don't know where it is. And this is after them having said, we know where it is. It's going to the Northern Ireland Dangerous Goods Centre. How does this happen for something that's meant to be a product that's designed for precious metals, for a product that's designed to handle goods of value with an insurance value of £2,500? How does that happen? I don't understand. And nobody within Royal Mail can answer me that. All they say to me is that unfortunately sometimes things go missing. And that leads me to the only logical conclusion is that somebody's stolen my silver, which is why I have been sharing around through social media and through all of the various different bullion dealers that I can find. And I have to say as well, the bullion dealers that I've contacted, a lot of them have come back to me and told me that they've passed that information on to pawnbrokers and other bullion businesses out there to warn that if any of the items that were in that package come up for sale or look to be sold by someone, that they're stolen goods. Because I don't understand how a special delivery item can just vanish and go missing. The only logical explanation, unless somebody from the Royal Mail can tell me otherwise, is that somebody has stolen it. Otherwise it would be somewhere. It would be, or they'd know because they'd have delivered it to the wrong address, and then they would know. There's no other reason. It's in my opinion, stolen. Or this is the only other thing, is that it is somewhere in a room in the depths of one of the sorting depots or the Northern Ireland Return Centre, and nobody can see it or find it or know where it is. And I mean, with the amount of incompetence that is on display from the Royal Mail right now, that's a fairly good chance of being true. Whether or not it'll turn up one day, I don't know. But for right now, I have to work on the assumption with all of the evidence that I've got in front of me that it's been stolen. Somebody has half-inched it and is sitting on a pile of silver, which is really, really shit. And so I'll come on now to the claims. This is going to be a long video, so strap in. We're probably about halfway through what I want to talk about. In fact, I've only got 13 more minutes of camera battery life left, so this will be as long as it is, and then the camera will just give up on me. So the claim process, before we get to the claim process, throughout this last 3 or 4 weeks of this situation, I've been hounding them saying, well, when can I make a claim? Because this is obviously, there's something big and problematic here. This is ridiculous. You can't find it. You can't tell me where it is. Let's just make a claim. Because I've got a business to run here. I've got to actually, get these pieces done and made and actually, delivered. It's just really frustrating to have as a situation, as a small business. And they kept on stringing me along saying, no, well, we've got to wait another couple of weeks because of the backlog in the return centre. And all throughout this time, silver's price, of course, has been going up and up and up. And when I sent the parcel originally, the value of the items within there was around about £2,100, £2,200, give or take a little bit with manufacturing costs. And now, to replace the lost silver, I'm facing, at least, if I buy from a dealer, at least £3,200. But if I buy at spot, if I'm lucky, from someone on the Silver Forum, for example, it's going to be about £2,800, £2,750, something like that. So I'm going to be out of pocket because the Royal Mail I've now in writing, got from them that they're going to pay me £2,500, the limit of the cover. It's ridiculous. And the £50 goodwill payment, yeah, well, they can shove that where the sun don't shine, quite frankly. They've left me with no other recourse than to make videos on YouTube calling out how awful they are, because they are awful, and I can earn some ad revenue back from their complete idiocy and malfeasance. Now, I do want to counteract that last little sentence by saying there are some good people in the Royal Mail that have been helping with this situation. I do want to commend and say thank you to the lady on the investigations team who has been trying very hard to work out what's going wrong with this. What I do want to say, though, is that the person that I was dealing with the CEO's office, initially very helpful. As soon as the claim had to be made, and we'll talk about that process in just a moment, but as soon as that claim had to be made, corporate face put on straight away. We don't care. This is what we're going to do. Corporation speak. £50 goodwill. We hope it, restores some faith in your. It does the opposite. It restores zero faith. It actually takes you down a peg or two, let me tell you. And then when I sort of made a plea of common sense and common human decency for not being a faceless corporation and just, realizing that you guys have dropped the ball significantly and maybe you could actually admit that and just help out a small business. They just literally copied and pasted, because it's in different coloured text, it's ridiculous. Copy and pasted, if you're not happy with your complaint, you can go to the postal review panel. I mean, there's no point in doing that because it's just ridiculous red tape. So that I'm not impressed with at all. It is what it is. The Royal Mail, faceless corporation that they are, they're not in the good books of anybody right now with the way that they've been acting and delivering their services and their price increases. And then, whilst not quite the same, Post Office Horizon prosecution scandals, it's all the bad blood. Yeah, not good at all. Anyway, so now I want to talk about the actual claim itself. So I obviously have a social media presence and profile. I made a video about this already a couple of weeks ago saying it's lost, potentially going to have to make a claim, and I've been dealing with somebody from the CEO's office. I don't know if I'm getting sort of a better standard of service in terms of the claim process because of all of that and because I'm in direct contact with someone. I don't know, but what I've been experiencing with my claim process is directly with the CEO's office. So the person that I've been talking with, who I mentioned just now is a faceless corporate shill, has basically handled the claim directly with me, asked me to submit evidence of the proof of what was in the parcel, what postage I paid for it, that kind of thing. And Do you know what? Very interestingly, they've just emailed me right now as I was, yes. Well, okay. Hey, oh my goodness me. I have some news live off the press. I'm going to have to somewhat change up my video here. Let me just screenshot this email. I need to blank out a few bits for it. If we blank out that and that, we need to blank out that as well. Save. Right. All right. Look at this. Literally hot off the press. I'd replied saying, you know, this is just ridiculous. So, well, they found it. Wow. Okay. That's quite good. Okay, I'm gonna have to process all of that and have a little think about everything. But that's good news, isn't it? Well, I was going to talk all about the claim process, but I guess that's all a bit of a moot point, really. Well, okay, we can conclude this video by saying the Royal Mail are not thieving bastards, but they're completely incompetent and useless at their job. But I'm glad that they've actually found my parcel. Hopefully it'll arrive pretty soon and we can move on with our lives. But what I want to conclude this video on is the claim process. So the claim process is important. Proof of value of the items. You know, I had to get a live price basically of the silver content, prove what was in the parcel, which was pretty easy for me because it was coming from the Edinburgh Assay Office as an invoice with a detailed look of what everything has got in there. And then basically I had to send all of that straight to the CEO's office. If I had to put the claim in normally, there were questions in my mind about, because when I sent the parcel, the value of it was 2,200, and now because the value has gone up to 2,750, 800 pounds, maybe they would invalidate the claim. And that's the big thing to take away from this, is that the claim value, if you have £3,000 worth of stuff in your package and you sent it, they can invalidate your entire claim. So for example, you're selling gold and you've got 2 ounces of gold in your package and it goes missing. You put a claim in, you won't get 2,500. You probably will get nothing because they will invalidate your claim. So it's really important to be on top of that. And it's also an important one to know what would happen to, I don't know what would happen to a sort of everyday person if they put, you know, let's say gold's 2,200 right now, it goes missing, you make a claim 30 days later and gold's suddenly at 2,500 or 2,600, it's above that. Are they going to invalidate the claim? Maybe, I don't know. It'd be very interesting to find out. Anyway, look, I've rambled for 17 minutes and we've got a live update. I thought she was going to email me and say, you know, tough shit. We're not going to do anything more for you. But yeah, okay, they found my goods. Funny they couldn't find them the other day. But hey, you know, it is what it is. I suppose we shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. We should be thankful that it's turned up. Hasn't arrived yet though. I mean, that is literally just got that email, so we'll see if it comes. All right, well, that's it from me. Great news. That doesn't happen very often here on YouTube. But I'm going to keep this take as it is. I might somewhat change the title of the video, I guess, and I haven't filmed my intro yet. So for all the Cool Kids Club members who've watched to the back end of the video, go on, give me a shout because I know a lot of you will be super happy with this outcome. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next video. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.